and welcome to The Rise. I'm Lauren, this is Raven, and today we have a special guest.
Woo!
It's Jazz!
Hit her with that
So yes, today we're going to be talking about forgiveness and all the different ways that we can forgive. So we're going to start it off, boom.
Or to not forgive.
That is the question.
No. Part of what we want to talk about is how our past tends to dictate our future if we're not careful. Mm-hmm. So it also has to do with our childhoods, it has to do with relationships you may have been in. So I would say, for me, there were certain agreements that I made with my parents or with teachers that shaped my future.
Or even friends.
Yeah. Friends. And then eventually there were relationships where negative things were poured into me that sort of dictated my future. What about you, Lauren? Do you have anything?
I mean, I can just say early on, I can just remember small things like, my best friends or my, even co-workers or, like you said, our parents. They will not knowingly put titles on you, and then you just agree with those titles and they follow you throughout life. And at a certain point in your life, you have to learn how to, clear that away. You have to forgive them for saying what they said, and then you have to make that agreement with yourself that you're not going to be those things anymore. You're not going to be what those titles that people put on you.
Yes.
So that's
which takes maturity, I think. It's not going to come at a point in your life where you're not ready to do that. For sure. JJ?
Well, I know for me, when y'all talk about, past dictating future, I'm such a big believer in your past definitely shapes you. Mm-hmm. From childhood on up. So, it just comes from different things, not just forgiveness, but anything, but especially how you view you. So, a lot of times you'll allow things to happen to you because you think you deserve it.
It's so true. It's I definitely for a while just felt like I had to punish myself for everything, even if someone else hadn't even punished me yet, because I became accustomed to, okay, if I don't make that grade or if I don't say the right thing, oh, I'm bossy now, or I'm mean. Someone just said I was mean, so then I started thinking I was mean all the time, and then I had to change that and say, no, if I want to speak the way I want to speak and say what I want to say and be in control, and just because I'm a woman doesn't make me a bitch, I can say what I want to say. But of course, you also have to be polite and kind in the way. Because
it's too much.
What causes people to say that you're an aggressive personality too? You also have to look at that. It's like, okay, do I need to rethink the way that I'm doing these things?
Yes. But one small thing would just be, people who would say, oh, you're so clumsy. And then throughout life, it would just follow me. I would drop things. I would, trip over stuff. Just because I made that agreement with myself. I claimed it. So that was me. I was clumsy my whole life. So
that's for me, the whole lazy title. I was told I was lazy. So for me, I kind of carried that into really everything. And it's what in the world? And I tell myself now I'm not lazy. But it takes years to get rid of that years
affirmation.
Input. The input.
You have to start waking up in the morning and saying, I am this, I am that. This is who I really
all
am.
The power of I am. That's what I love Lisa Nichols. That's when I started.
Oh
my God.
That personality shines.
Yes.
In everything. I love her.
So whenever she talks about the I am, and instead of
Does she hear her story?
Yes. And then too, instead of saying I'm not gonna be lazy, you be like, I am active.
Right. Because you don't say those negative words.
Yes, don't even touch that word.
At one point I was doing really well with that. Now it's gotten hard. It's a practice.
It is. You gotta really flip it. You gotta your mind has to really be in sync with your words.
Yeah. So they also say when you forgive someone, it is not for them, it's for you.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah. And it can lift you up out of the thing after you have, allowed yourself to forgive. But I used to think, okay, I just said I forgive them, smooth sailing, I've forgiven them, and then I get triggered.
Yeah.
And it might not even be by them. It might be by a situation that reminds me of them. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, I'm mad about this. I'm feeling about that. I don't feel right. But I think that you should know it's a journey. Don't feel. I used to feel like, oh, something's wrong with me that I can't just let this thing go. But be okay with it. Sometimes you got to sit in the grief. And then come out of the grief when it's time and go in your journey.
That saying, I will forgive, but I won't forget, is true. It's going to keep coming back in your head. But you have to just, like we said, making agreements. You have to make an agreement that, you're going to forgive that situation and move forward. So every time it comes up, you have, something to go back to.
Right.
And
And just kind of an example of like the whole forgiveness thing, how it can affect you in other situations. Like for instance, if you have like a father who wasn't there and you don't forgive him for that, so then when you have these relationships with these people who you feel like are absent or not there, you tend to attach those two together, and they're completely not even synonymous, but you put them together, so it's like, what in the world?
Yeah,
that's why
even true
forgiveness
to
is for you.
relationships.
It is. That's what I mean.
Yes, because in my situations, like I just thought after that, I guess being cheated on and even
Being
worse
lied
things,
to,
it kind of makes you, when you get into that next situation, I haven't forgiven this person.
You're
so
reminded of it. Every little thing they do, they
I
remind
think
you
just
of
like
that.
them. Like I think you're gonna cheat on me. I think you're gonna do, even worse things just because I haven't forgiven the people who did that to me.
And it can be
before.
small. Like I know for me, like one time, like it was like small things, like he didn't answer the phone. The last guy didn't answer the phone.
Now, what he doing?
And I thought, right. And so I'm like, what he doing? And he'd be like, I'm at work. Oh. Okay.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
You
I was
can't text at work, can you?
And I was even worse than that. Like, if you ain't answer the phone and you said you're at work, you sure FaceTime me. Like,
right. So for real, like, I've been
was
by people's houses before.
Oh,
Like,
my
I've done the
goodness.
whole nine
Nah,
before.
I ain't do all that.
Now, I mean, we being real. I mean, I got a pass. This is BC.
Hey, look, it be like
I
that.
done read past houses.
It be like that.
Yeah.
Then there are other instances where we have to, of course, forgive ourselves. But a lot of times we want forgiveness. We want forgiveness from another person. We're like, I'm sorry. Oh, and somebody will say, oh, it's okay. And it's still not okay.
Right.
I feel like I need to really get in deep and say, okay, I have to forgive myself. Like when I hurt my niece's feelings, I feel like something was wrong with me. I gotta fix this. And she might not even be bothered anymore.
Right.
But
I feel like with adults, if you have somebody that you love and it's a family member, you feel like something went on. It's important, I feel like, to confront them. To because once you know that person is okay, then at that point it's easier for you to forgive yourself if you feel like something.
See, I had a hard time with that recently because I had a close family member sort of betray my trust in a way, and I just felt like I couldn't confront them. Someone else ended up confronting them for me, and they ended up apologizing to me. But what I liked about it was discernment, because I still felt that person was not sincere and that person really did what they did on purpose.
Out of
But it helped me to heal, because I was like, well, I can't even make up in my mind that they didn't mean to now, because I know in my heart of hearts they didn't mean well for me. And I think it's nice to be able to do that in relationships, your day-to-day life. And we were also discussing before how you can forgive someone, but you don't have to place yourself in the space with them.
Yes, and that's another thing. Trust those instincts,
Absolutely.
because when you are in a situation where somebody is actually in the right instead of the wrong, you can feel that too. So if you would,
so don't just trust yourself on that.
Right.
And of course, y'all know I have to bring this perspective up, but it's important to forgive. And when it comes to forgiveness, a lot of times you forgive out of love, and if you love people with God's love, and if you love them how God loves us, and God forgives us for everything. I mean, you have to think about it. Jesus gave his whole life for us, and we do things against him. And he gave his life, his whole entire life.
And forgive.
So we can, so he can forgive us, then we can forgive people. But if you love them with his love, it becomes easier, and it becomes just a standard thing for you to forgive people. Now, again, like y'all said, you don't have to let them in your space. You don't have to allow them to keep doing the same thing to you, because again, God gave us discernment, He gave us common sense. He make us dumb. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you love, with God's love, forgiveness becomes a lot easier. It becomes just a standard thing you do.
And I'm in I'm in those early stages of that, of coming back to. I've gone through different phases in my life where I strayed from God, came back to God, questioned God, came back to God.
Right.
And now I'm at a place where I'm very early in that journey of just having to really sit with myself and sit with God and sit with like my meditation and thinking and saying, okay, let me align everything so that I'm going in the direction I need to go in. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not. The other day I was praying, and I started praying on some of my enemies. And I used to think I don't have enemies, but while being at work, you have some people that come in and stir up your spirit every single time.
And I say that makes you feel so good. If somebody crosses you in some kind of way, you pray for them. It literally clears it all out.
Something that I've learned to do, because I was the type of person that felt like I always had to respond. Like I always had to respond.
Yeah, but
if you always, if you have something to say, like verbally to me, and you say it to me, and you nitpicking, I feel like I had to say something back. But I've learned I get peace from being sweet to you. I get peace from being nice to you.
Yes.
Because I've learned that. I've learned to be respectful with people who I know are purposely being malicious to me.
Yeah,
And so that's
more than it hurts you.
and it makes them, and you can see it, like they're like, why she still being
Why she being
like, I think that's a good part of forgiveness. You forget
And
before
you
just
can
being
change,
them.
yes, and
Right.
you can change someone else's disposition
Absolutely.
towards you by how you react to them.
And a good example I can think of, like when I was at work, I had a guy. And anybody who worked at the store I worked in, who were there, like I'm talking about, all my coworkers were to jump on this man because he was literally going off on me. Like I'm talking about, he was saying stuff like, you don't know what you're doing, you dumb, you this, why you work here? I'm an engineer, I know phones ain't made like this, da 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 da.
Oh my God.
And I mean, but I was just polite to him. I was still polite. I was still sweet with him. He ended up coming back, bringing me a gift card,
Oh
some
my
jewelry.
God.
Like he felt so bad, and he was like, he told my manager, he's like, I just want to give her like a compliment. Like she was so professional with me. Like she kept it nice. And then my whole thing is, why would I respond? Like you respond. I know it's not me.
Things are not about us.
Yeah.
We always want to take something personal.
So
it's not
personal.
even about you.
Right.
It's someone that's going through their own personal thing. I used to have this thing at my other job, which is horrible. Some people are like, why you think like that? But I would, when someone would come up and they would get upset with me over a cup of coffee or whatever, I would be like, well, maybe her husband just beat her this morning.
Yeah,
or something.
seriously.
And that's
Yeah,
horrible, but I would
my
just
wake up call was when I worked in a pharmacy, and I had this woman to come in just extremely pissed, just upset. Y'all don't want me to have my medicine, all this stuff. And then she ends up saying she's dying, so she's stressed. She's already, feeling that,
we don't know
and we don't know what's going on. And before finding that out, I was just, I was pissed at her. I was like, I don't want to, work.
I don't
want
want
to
to deal with her no more. Right.
And then finding that out, I'm like, even though that doesn't, give her a
Excuse it.
reason, it does not
Right.
excuse it. But at the same time, you do have to look at people in different eyes, with
Yes.
different eyes.
And I think that's like a curse that I have because I've always been really understanding of everybody. Like my mama hates the fact that I'm just not a great area. It's like it's either like, well, it's not that I'm not.
area all day.
Well,
My daddy
it's
all
not
day.
like, well, it's not like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm not a girl, but I'm like right and wrong. But then again, I'm always like, well, then you still gotta see it from both sides.
That's an empathy.
Yeah, I'm such an empathetic person.
Yes.
So I'm always like trying to understand people. So if somebody come in going off, I'm like, no, they're probably lunch break in the rush. We are taking a little long. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I understand. So it's hard for me to be mad at people when you don't know their
Yes,
circumstances.
but I won't lie. I fell short today, okay?
Short.
But did you forgive them?
No, did you forgive yourself?
Oh, I forgave myself. I forgave me. All right, let's get to the juice. So this week, hot topic, Kevin Hart.
Oh my God.
Right. The whole family mad.
But I think this is like a forgiveness situation on steroids because whenever your life is in the limelight, like I felt like when Beyonce went through her thing with Jay-Z, like all of the Beehive had to forgive Jay.
We did. And
Jay,
we still don't
I'm
know.
still mad at you.
Right.
But I appreciate
I am her
before.
fans.
I appreciate
her
that music. Well, with this,
Wait,
I
the
would
person
say-
said forgiveness, you gotta love people, girl. Love
It's
It's
Beyonce.
Beyonce. She's up there.
And
How could you?
That's personal.
Right.
No.
I know her.
No, really though. I feel that I don't know if this is wrong to say, but I feel like the girl was in the right to like film it. I don't know. I feel like anything done in the dark will come to the lights. What I have done, I think that's horrible. What she did was horrible. What he did was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone's going to step out and do the wrong thing constantly, I think sometimes you deserve your life to be
You need to be held accountable.
accountable.
Yeah.
Your wife is pregnant. I think that's
Yeah, now on Miss Nico Hart's side, like even though she was the side chick,
But do we really know that she was a
We
side
don't know
chick?
that.
We don't know.
We
Because,
don't know. That's
because
true.
why
It's rumored.
women always think that the second lady was the
Yes,
side chick
true.
when you don't know how
It's
it
been
happened.
years.
yeah, we
It
don't
has
know.
been
We
years.
don't know.
And we've seen how she's a little off too, so we really don't know.
I enjoy her.
She is
Of
hilarious.
course you do.
She makes for some good entertainment.
Right.
But as a wife,
Like
like
forgiveness.
that is the ultimate betrayal, and then
Yeah.
having it televised and just all out there, the whole world is seeing it. I know that'd be hard to forgive.
Yeah.
I know it'd be very
I
hard.
do
to
think it'll be
forgive.
hard, but I also know that in marriage you have to, some people are able to put up, everyone has their threshold.
I can say, like, I don't know any female, and I'm speaking, like, I'm not speaking for y'all, but as far as me and my friends, like, I don't know any, well, outside of Lauren, because she's my friend too.
Yeah,
But outside, look how face you look. But outside of, like, these two, because I don't want to put their business out there, but me and my other friends, like, I know we've all, like, been through situations where guys have cheated and we've accepted them. So my thing, I'm thinking, if I'm married to a man and we have this covenant under God, if you cheat on me, I kind of owe it to you at this point.
Yeah.
So I want to forgive you and work on it if you're willing to. If you're working on it.
I was in that situation. I really wanted to, but when you can't do it by yourself.
Right.
So if he's willing to work on it, or if you're willing, y'all have an understanding or something, that's on y'all. You know.
Right. I
Can't nobody else judge the situation.
I can't speak on marriage because I've never been married, but like being cheated on in a relationship, it hurts. Like it's horrible, and I did forgive maybe once or twice, but what I will say is them niggas keep doing it. They just keep on going. Like if they start being they gonna be
it's your history. It's your history. It's who you are. Okay, so at the end of this, we just want to talk. So I guess give advice to people on how we've been able to forgive. So have you had any instance for you, or what can you tell people?
What's funny is I'm still rocky on this concept. Like, I mean, there are certain situations where I still want to be forgiven, certain situations that I'm still trying to forgive, but I guess my success stories all start with just God, just praying on people and praying on myself. And, that's where I find my healing.
Right. But forgiveness definitely starts with yourself, for sure, because it's not about the other person. So let's not think like I'm not gonna forgive you because I want you to be mad. Because at the end of the day, they sleeping, they eating, they doing whatever else out there that they doing, and could care less about really. I hate to say it to them, but what they did to you. So if you forgive them and you move on, you can live a good life. But for me, like from my experiences, like Lauren said, I'm definitely more forgiving now than I was in the past. Because before I cut you off quick and would think about it. Like now, I've learned to value relationships with people that I love, and if I value a relationship, I'm definitely going to forgive you. I don't know if I'm not gonna bring it up. Like that's been my issue too, but I will forgive. And I think a lot of that for me has definitely come from God. It's all about God. It's all about praying to Him, and He'll give you that peace and that calming and that reminder that, hey, I forgave you for what you did yesterday when you claimed to be my child. You know what I'm saying? So I just always think of that.
Yes. I guess I have to say for me is, like I said before, just know that it's a journey. Don't beat yourself up because you can't get it. You can't get in that right feeling. I know the other day, like I was saying, I was praying over people and one name came up and I couldn't pray for that person. I couldn't put any positive thoughts on that person.
That's what you asked Jesus. Give me a positive thought.
Give me a positive thought for that person. So just know that it is a journey, I would say, but also it's about you, and it's about, also I want to say that recently I had a come to Jesus, I guess, with someone that I love dearly, and I realized that they were never going to understand my point of view, and I was never going to get them to say, I'm sorry. So sometimes they don't even ask for forgiveness. Because they don't believe they need it. They believe they did the best they could, that's what it was. So I feel that even in those moments, to heal yourself, say, you know what, I can't control what they do. I can't control how they do it. I can't control how they feel about them. But I can control how I feel about them, how I feel about a situation, what I do. And I can start putting myself in situations to even deal with those things. Or if you have to be around that person, just put up those barriers, those boundaries that you need to. Don't, like you were saying, sometimes you cannot even speak to a person that's going to. I have someone that comes in at work that just talks outside of their mouth, and I just don't recognize them. I say, have a nice day at the end of the transaction. So sometimes you just got to have a nice day.
Be blessed.
Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.
Right.
But thank you.
That was us yet again on the rise. We thank you for rocking with us for the entire video. If you would like, please subscribe. Please like. Then do a shimmy.
And hit us with the comments because we would love to get some interactions with you all. And if you have any ideas of something you want to hear about or hear us talk about, definitely let us know as well. Oh, and thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Giving gems.
Yeah. Dropping them. Y'all better pick them up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, bye-bye.
Bye.